Hey guys, today we're back with my 2022 Subaru BRZ, and we're in my garage because we're about to do a cold start. Today we're testing out the new MRT Performance Street Race Axleback exhaust for the 22 BRZ GR86. They just developed a couple systems for this platform. One is muffled. We're going to test that next week, and today we're going loud. So this is the straight through Axleback, their street race system. Let's start this car up. We'll do a quick cold start, and then we'll take this for a drive and give you guys some thoughts on what it's like to live with on the road. This is a little bit more of an aggressive, hardcore exhaust, pretty loud, and I think you guys will like the way it sounds. A little bit lower, deeper bass, not as raspy as some other systems out there. So sitting here at idle, it's actually pretty mild. Even the cold start wasn't as raspy and brappy as I've heard some other exhausts being. So we'll let the system warm up just a little bit, but cruising around town, it's actually not as obnoxious as I thought it might be. It is interesting to hear how different this FA24 sounds compared to the older FA20 in the previous generation cars. Get some pops and burbles there. That's fun. Pretty mild, between 2,500 to 3,500 RPM. Some lower tones around 2,000 RPM. That's a bit lower than what you'd be cruising around at in the city anyway. Above 4,000 it starts to get a little bit louder. Sitting here on the highway at 3,000 RPM. I have a 4.3 diff in this BRZ, so this would be about 70 miles an hour in a stock BRZ with a 410 final drive ratio. 3,000 RPM, it almost sounds stock. Even under some load up that hill, it's pretty much silent. Zero drone. That's actually pretty impressive. What if we take it down to 65 miles an hour here? 2,700 RPM. It's maybe just slightly louder than stock. It's pretty quiet, actually. It's surprisingly so. What about $4,000? You can hear it a little bit at 3,700. At 4,000. Yeah, off throttle it gets a little bit louder at 4,000 RPM. Oh yeah, there's some drone up at about 42, 4,300. Off throttle though, on throttle, pretty quiet. Yeah, so it seems like the drone spot is about 4,300 RPM off throttle. Interesting. super livable on the highway all throughout that highway rev range from about 2,500 to 4,000 RPM. It's pretty quiet. Above 5,000, it screams a little bit more. Still not overwhelming in the cabin. Should save a little bit of weight compared to the stock system too, since there aren't any mufflers. Sounds really good on downshifts. Notice that in this new BRZ, if you just drag the clutch slightly on downshifts, you get some pops, and they're really satisfying. Nice. BRZ is so much fun on winter tires. Yeah, I'm really actually very impressed with the highway manners of this. It's very livable. The only area where it starts to drone is about 4,300 RPM. So if you're at 70 miles an hour, you shift into fifth and you let off. It's just right about there. But everywhere else, it is very nice. I've already spent some time driving the muffled axle back setup from MRT, and that is a lot more mild. It's just slightly louder than stock. If you want something that, you know, maybe kind of replicates how the BRZ should have come from at the factory, whereas you can hear a little bit of engine tone still up front and a little bit of exhaust out back, and you drive by and people know that you're in something sporty and special instead of just a completely silent exhaust system. That's definitely a much milder system, and yeah, you're definitely not going to wake up the neighbors on cold start with that exhaust. We'll test and review that here in a little bit, but for now, wanted to give you guys some ideas on this MRT street race axle back straight through system that they just developed. It's a really nice looking system, bolts up in a few minutes, super easy install being an axle back, and you get some tone out of it that you definitely don't get stock. And it's also not as expensive as a full catback exhaust system. Exhaust systems have gotten so expensive over the last couple of years. Part of that is just material costs, but this seems to be pretty reasonably priced. So anyway, we'll throw a link to that in the description. Let me know if you guys have any questions. See you guys in the next video. Take care. Hop out, show you what it looks like here real quick. Nice polished 4-inch tips. They line up great from the back. I'm looking underneath. Nice clearance. I mean, pretty straightforward, simple system, not too complicated. Give it some revs at idle here. Try a window down too.